Good evening. The time is now 6:01 p.m. and I will call to order this hybrid public meeting. It is June 12th, 2025, and my name is Julie Bond. I am the chair of the Historic Preservation Commission. Please note this meeting is the regular monthly meeting of the commission being held at a special date and time to consider the agenda of the rescheduled June 4th meeting that could not occur due to technical difficulties. Regular meetings and public hearings of the Clark County Historic Preservation Commission are held in hybrid format with both in-person and virtual participation options for commissioners, staff, and the public. This will allow for safe participation by commission members, staff, and any citizen interested in attending. For those of you joining remotely via computer, you should be able to see tonight's meeting agenda on your screen. If you can't see the screen and have joined by phone only, I will be announcing the agenda items as we move through the meeting's topics. Members of the public and applicants that have joined remotely are attendees. Other event participants cannot hear your audio unless you are acknowledged by the commission chair or staff and are unmuted. This evening's agenda is planned as follows: roll call, prior meeting minutes approval, public comment for subjects other than the public hearings on the meeting's agenda, as there will be specific public comment periods as part of the hearings, updates from partner organizations, City of Vancouver Heritage Overlay Review for the Academy Portico Rehabilitation, new business, old business, commission announcements and events, subcommittee updates, good of the order, and adjournment. Are there any amendments to today's agenda? Okay, hearing none, we will now have a roll call of HPC members who are present for this meeting. Commission members, please say I'm here after I call your name. Jan Bader is excused. I am Julie Bond. Morgan Fraser.
Here.
Andy Gregg.
Here.
Heidi Mandler Huff.
Here.
And Elaine Thatcher and John Zingeli are both excused. All right, we will move to April minutes approvals. We will consider April 2nd meeting minutes. Is there any discussion or are there any comments regarding those minutes? I can't see participants online, so if you do have any, just please jump in.
And for the record, Jan had a couple of minor edits that I incorporated already.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, seeing no others, I will take a motion. I will take a motion to approve April 2nd meeting minutes. And do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
Thank you. All right, the motion passes. And now we will consider the May 7th meeting minutes approval. Are there any discussion or comments for those meeting minutes?
And as I've let you know already, your edits that you gave to me should be incorporated in the copy that you have.
Okay, thanks. Okay, seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the May 7th meeting minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the May 7th minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. The motion passes. Thank you both. We will now take public comment on any items outside of public hearing items. We will begin with attendees in the room. However, there aren't any. So we will now take public comment from online attendees. Susan, can you please read the instructions?
We actually do not have any attendees online.
Great. I mean, not great, but great that, sorry. Great that we don't need to read that to nobody.
Right, exactly.
To no one present. All right, great. Well, now we will move to partner updates. We will begin with our updates from our Historic Trust partner. Holly, go ahead.
There we go. Thank you, Julie. Good evening, commissioners and staff. Groundbreaking for the Academy's Sacred Heart Garden at Edlidge Square project was held on June 6th. The contractor has set up the construction site and archaeological monitoring is scheduled. Construction will resume as soon as the plans, which are now approved by city staff, are also permitted. Work will include front portico maintenance, which is the subject of review this evening. A grant request was submitted to the Union Pacific Foundation for the Small Business Incubator Project. Howard House re-roofing and siding repair is complete, and final inspection was done on June 5th. As always, the Trust is grateful for funding from the Heritage Capital Projects Program administered by the Washington State Historical Society. The Officers Row Memories Oral History Project interviews and transcripts are now available on the Trust website. May was an extremely active month for event venue staff. 9 events took place in just 1 week, ranging from workshops, weddings, and a banquet to the filming of a documentary. The Trust partnered with the Community Military Appreciation Committee on providing a reception associated with the public observance of Memorial Day. The Post Hospital National Historic Preservation Month tour on May 31st was very popular with the sold-out crowd. Some attendees were veterans who had worked there when it was an Army Reserve training school, but most people had never been inside. A lot of preparation was required to safely allow the public in after many decades of closure, train volunteers, and research new historical information. We are especially grateful to the Trust's preservation crew for dedicating above and beyond effort to let tour-goers experience as many spaces safely as possible. The many programs planned for public engagement this summer start on June 20th with a solstice observance at 5:30 p.m. at the Howard House, followed quickly by Craft Day on June 21st at 10 a.m. at the Artillery Barracks. The concert series kicks off on June 27th at the Howard House with a performance by the Big Bossa Quartet at 5:30 p.m. The Trees of Officers Row walking tour is set for June 25th at noon in partnership with Urban Forestry staff. We hope you'll be able to join the Vancouver Barracks Military Association on Thursday, June 26th at 6:30 p.m. at the Howard House for a program on vintage stereoscopic images of the garrison. The photos date from the 1870s through 1880s and are in the private collection of Major Jeff Davis, who will present them. This is a free program which can be registered for at jddavis@rocketmail.com. The VBMA is in the process of disbanding, but the Trust will continue working with the members to present military history lectures. The Trust submitted its final comments on the revised third draft of the Interstate Bridge Replacement Program Programmatic Agreement, which addresses project mitigation. We have been successful in securing a pre-construction assessment and construction vibration monitoring for the Post Hospital and 2 of the NCO duplexes in the West Barracks, along with Providence Academy and the Providence Kindergarten Building. We are grateful to DAP for providing support for more monitoring than was originally stipulated by project staff. The Trust continues to advocate for the addition of more buildings for monitoring and other additions and modifications to the proposed mitigation with the aim of securing more building preservation and less documentation. Finally, gratitude to Julie for her public service on the Preservation Commission. One thing I have appreciated is her championing of website updates. The website is much improved and has become easier to direct people to for information they need when I receive inquiries. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much. All right. Are there any other partner organizations who wish to give an update online? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. This concludes the partner updates portion of this meeting. Next, Anthony Tortocini from the City of Vancouver is here to present a Heritage Overlay Advisory Review request for portico rehabilitation at the Providence Academy. Commission members, please announce any ex parte conflicts or contacts of conflicts of interest relating to this item. And seeing none, Anthony, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Julie. Yes, as Julie mentioned, we're here for advisory review of the portico maintenance as proposed by the Historic Trust. We could move on to that second slide, please. So pictured there is the historic portico at the entrance of the Providence Academy. The existing portico is built of brick and sandstone in 1911, replacing a wooden portico from 1891. Could move on to the next slide, please. Just an overview of the project scope. Largely, the scope of work includes cleaning of portico elements, some repairs, and a like-for-like replacement, with the exception, you see at the bottom there, of a existing industrial light fixture that will be replaced with a historically appropriate light fixture, and no work is proposed for that entrance door that you see. We can move on. We've got some existing conditions here. So the steps have begun to deteriorate. They're proposed to be replaced like for like. There was a question in Holly's narrative about what the building department may require at the City of Vancouver, and I spoke with them. Currently, that railing ends at the first, or begins at the first step, and doesn't go all the way down to the ground level. So when it's, I believe the building department will require that the railing goes all the way down to the ground level. Something to note. Next slide, thank you. So the roof is pictured here. The scope includes gentle cleaning of bricks to remove staining caused by water from the leaking roof. Water has also contributed to mortar deterioration. New mortar is proposed to match the existing color and texture, and the replacement of the wooden roof substructure will prevent further water damage and deterioration. Next slide, please. So just a reminder of the procedure. These exterior alterations that are visible from a public right-of-way require advisory review by the HPC. It's also subject to the approval criteria of the Heritage Overlay Number 1. And in the document that I also provided, the staff report, I find that the proposed rehabilitation meets the Heritage Overlay Number 1 approval criteria, and recommend approval of the project as proposed. And I know Holly is here from the Historic Trust, who can answer questions about the project scope, and as can I, and the process as well. They provided a narrative that has some more photos if you'd like to pull that up to take a look. But
Okay,
that's
I'm
the end
going
of
to
my
ask if
presentation
anyone
there.
has any questions for you, Anthony.
Sure.
I'll look online first. Okay, I don't see any hands. Any in the room? I don't have any. It doesn't look like Andy does either. Okay, thanks, Andy.
Yes.
Holly, would you would like to say anything? Or
I don't have any additional comments, but thank you.
okay, thanks. And does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
My only question was, I noticed some of the scrolling on the top of the portico is very, specific to the Sacred Heart. Just was wondering if that was going to be retained.
Oh, yes, and it's the same pattern that is on the side railings of the porch, and those will be reinstalled.
Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
I was just hoping that. I'm hoping you confirm what I suspected.
Mhm.
Great. Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just
All
really
right.
love that scrolling. I just think, even though it's a later
Mhm.
addition, it's just such a nice addition to the Academy.
Yeah. And just for my own, just help me remember, that's going to be repaired. I see like a missing heart. Is that going to be repaired when it's removed?
To the extent possible, we're not sure until we actually remove it how fragile it is. So we'll keep it intact, but we're not sure we can attach new pieces to it.
Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate this plan. I thank you so much.
All right. We will now open public comment for this item. Oh, I'm going to go back and just make sure nobody else online has any further questions. Okay. We will now open public comment for this item. Staff will now provide instructions on how to make a public comment for those joining remotely. In-person comments for those in the room can be made after any remote attendees' comments are completed. However, we have none in the room, so I'll just check again if there's any online. There is. Okay. Go ahead and please give those instructions.
If you, excuse me, if you are using a computer, tablet, or smartphone, if you would like to make a comment, please raise your virtual hand. There are instructions on how to do this on the screen. Typically, the hand icon is located towards the bottom of your screen, but you may need to click on the icon that looks like a circle with 3 dots in order to see the raised hand option. For anyone on the telephone, please dial *3 on your phone's number panel to raise your hand. Staff will be able to see hands once they are raised and will request to unmute you one at a time. I do not see any raised hands.
All right, thank you. With no public comments, the public comment period is now closed and the commission will deliberate. Is there any discussion on this item?
I mean, I think it's a great project. I think the Portico needs to be cleaned up and preserved. Because it is deteriorating. I'm really happy to hear that there is an effort made to preserve growing. It would be nice to see that down the center, if possible, if that could be recreated, to kind of tie it in. But other than that, I think that this is it's a worthy project.
Thanks. Thanks, Morgan.
I want to compliment staff and the Historic Trust folks for their research regarding the history not only of this building, but also the fact that the 1909 Vancouver Elks building, as well as Portland's Crystal Ballroom, were designed by the same architect. So I think the Academy's in good company there.
Agreed, Andy. I didn't bring that up, but I do. I think that restoring this little detail is a really important legacy.
Okay, I don't want to miss anybody else online who would like to say anything, but if not, okay. And I actually echo Morgan's statements as well. This is what preservation's all about, right? Is to do the work that you need to do to maintain the building so that it can exist again for years and years and years. And I really appreciated the detail. I appreciated that you talked about the mortar and the brick, and you got into the nitty gritty of preservation so that we understand that you have done the work that needs to be done to preserve it properly. So I really appreciated that. I'm really happy to see it restored because this is what this is what preservation is about, is restoring and improving things that before they get too far gone where you can't repair them. So really appreciate this proposal, the work you guys put into putting it together and being thoughtful about it. So I didn't have any outlying questions, or I feel like you addressed everything that I would have asked already in your proposal. So if there's no further discussion, do I have a motion for this item?
I move that we accept it.
I will definitely second that.
The only thing is we're not actually approving anything. It's just a advisory.
Oh, that's right. It's an
Um,
advisory.
Yeah, so perhaps we support the staff's,
Recommendation.
right. Would that be a better way of
Yeah, we could say we endorse it.
Okay. Would you like to say it again, Anna?
Okay, I move that we endorse the staff report, the proposal on the part of the Historic Trust to renovate and restore and preserve the portico at Providence Academy.
And do I have a second?
Commissioner Fraser wholeheartedly seconds that.
Thank you, Morgan. And now we'll take a roll call vote on the motion. I did this?
Morgan Fraser,
Approved. Aye.
Andy Gregg,
Aye.
Heidi Mandler Huff,
Aye.
Julie Bond.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you for the reroute.
And your patience.
Excuse me, review. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you for the great work you did. It's great.
All
And the
right,
whole
well,
trust.
I'm sorry, Morgan, I interrupted you. Say that last part.
Oh, and the whole trust. I know she didn't do it by herself.
Right. Thank everybody.
And thank you for coming back.
It just was
Jorge.
really, it was such a refreshing read. It brought such joy to me.
Yeah. Bye. All right, we will now move to new business. And first in new business, we will continue discussion of the Historic Preservation Commission's participation and outreach opportunities this season. And Bart will give us a brief update on that.
Yeah, so we had intended to have Elaine lead this discussion. She couldn't be here tonight. The core of what we wanted to remind everyone is that Elaine has continued to do a bunch of work on the calendars, and so we will send everyone a fresh link to the calendars, and we are ready to start plugging folks into events to use our materials and use the name of the organization and participate in both farmers market, media, whatever people are comfortable with. So I don't want to speak for Elaine, and I wish she could have been here tonight, but she couldn't. So
No, that's great. It's very helpful.
I really look forward to the links. I'm on my way back. I look forward to participating in some of those opportunities.
yes, Morgan, I do too. So let's send me an email when you're back and situated, and let's get together so we can talk about that.
Well,
And
I officially come back on June 18th, but as you all know, the gorge is on fire. So, you know, it's like I'm coming back, but I'm coming into full swing.
Sure.
But I will be back. I'm very excited and over the moon, actually, because everywhere I go, people are like, "Why are you beaming?" I'm like, "I'm going back, and I can't wait to see the ocean." You know, like it's the little things.
Sure.
Yes, we understand.
And you guys, I miss all of you, and I really miss that I can't be there for Julie's last meeting.
Well, we'll get a chance to see each other, but it'll be good to have you back for the whole commission. Okay, so are there any questions for Bart before we move to the next item? Sounds like.
No.
Okay, so Bart will now discuss the status of new member recruitment and the interviews.
Yeah. So in addition to Elaine reapplying, because her first term was up at the end of this month, we had 4 other applicants, and we got all the interviews done and had the final interview had to be pushed for a variety of reasons till this Monday. Jan and Andy were great and were always available for all those interviews. Their pros and everything worked out wonderfully. We had a couple of real strong candidates utilizing our normal practice. I don't want to say the names till they're approved by county council, but if anybody wants to talk to me offline, we can discuss the particular applicants. And it was a good process that resulted in good recommendations. The only odd thing that is a little bit different this time around is that when I went to the council's office to put it on the consent calendar like I normally do, I was informed that the new council with Chair Marshall and the 2 new councilors have been exercising their authority to conduct interviews for these volunteer commissions more rigorously than in past years. And so they may choose to do that, in which case it will not be able to be approved on consent at the end of this month, and it will get pushed into July. It won't really affect the work of the commission that much. The end result should be the same, but I'm just letting everybody know there may be another 2 or 3 weeks delay because of the council's decision to do interviews.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Bart?
Well, it says member interviews and recommendations. What are the recommendations? If you can say.
You can't say the name.
So okay, here's the deal, Morgan.
No, I'm reading the agenda and I'm like, wait, I feel like I missed the recommendation.
No, you didn't miss the recommendations. And I wrote that on this agenda before Michelle had informed me of the additional interview process. And
Thank you.
so I'm not comfortable.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. That's fine.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. No,
Great.
no ball hiding.
I'm so literal, I'm like reading every word. I'm waiting for the recommendation.
Yep. I had wanted to have the draft staff report for you guys to look at the same way that I did last cycle. And
Great.
I can't do that yet because
That's fine.
Yep.
I got it. You're great. Thank you, Bart.
That's what's going on. Thank you. Oh, one thing that did come out of it from Jan and Andy, plowing through the questions and the Little Conejo case study yet again is we're going to refresh the interview questions and figure out a new case study because that one's pretty
I
tired.
figured you would do that after this.
Yeah. I think it has served its purpose and we need a new case study. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, this concludes new business. We'll now move to old business. And the first item is going to be an update from the subcommittee that was redoing the website. And I'm going to do some demo. So I'm going to switch seats for just a second.
Yay.
Might be able to. See if it'll work.
Oh, we might not need musical chairs.
So what do you?
Give us just 1 second while we get set up.
There's a thing on the back of this monitor. I think that would.
It might tie into the computer, or we could plug it into the computer itself. See if it runs the
And so
mouse.
while they do that, I'll just start by saying that Jan, Susan, and I, as you all know, we've been working on this. I think it's now been 2 years.
And it's so fantastic. It's
Thank
just
you.
been such a great adventure. I
Thank
love
you.
visiting the website and finding something new every single time.
Thank you. And so we had one of our last meetings with the three of us on Tuesday. The subcommittee will still exist
Dang.
and they will still be working on the last pieces that are remaining to be done. But we have made a lot of progress. So we wanted to showcase it
Me to pull it
to
up on
show
here then.
you all what
This
it looks like
computer.
now, if you haven't already explored it. And give me just a second because I'm not,
Okay, one second.
okay.
So Bart's gonna
1
do
second
this.
from Bart.
Oh, well now I
You only get 1
now
second,
she
Bart.
took over the. That's my son, very literal. 1 second, Dad.
That's how I am. You should see me at this government
Can we go to
office. They
Chrome?
love hate me.
Yeah, you can go down to Chrome if you can get it to go.
Okay. Do you want to type in Clark County
Uh,
Historic Preservation?
Or you can go
I
to
don't
that
have
home
it.
page in the corner there.
I don't have a,
That's Bart.
You don't have a mouse.
Oh, that's,
I think you can get there.
hold on. I'm gonna do it. Okay,
that's neat.
this guy.
Perfect.
here.
Okay. And then we'll just go to overview and then okay.
Then we go to live.
Awesome. Okay. Now,
When you're done.
so
Okay, my photographer really wants to know if my photo's finally in there.
yes, it is. It's been in there for a while and it
I
looks
know.
excellent.
It's just funny. She always asks me, she's like, am I live?
So I think you guys have seen this before when we did our first overview, but we made a few recent changes. So we still have, we have this welcome message. We have this that links to our preservation statement, which can be used for outreach activities, should you guys want to use it. And then we changed some of the buttons. So now we have Meet the Commissioners, so they can click on this and it'll go to the page, attend a meeting, that'll take them to our meeting page. And then this will take them to our historic sites page. And then we have this section that is updated as we have different things, specifically the grants program, and then when we have openings. And then down here, we wanted to keep a main page that people can access the codes. So we have our different Vancouver and Clark County codes. We have our mid-century survey, and then we listed it that Historic Partners links to that page, Historic Preservation Commission rules and procedures links to that document. So this is our main page, our overview. Then the next is our all of us. So again, really great pictures, summaries of everybody.
There you are.
They've already made the update of taking me
You know,
off.
look, everyone looks so good.
which is good because I did say you have to take me off, not have to, but it was one of the updates we had. And then this will be updated when you have new commissioners. But this is a wonderful new page that we had put together. Then it's same thing. This is a great place. So if you're ever wondering, what are the procedures? Where is the code? You can just come to our commission page and these buttons will link you to the different codes. Then we have our commission meetings, which is essentially what we've seen before. It's the same site, but we have new buttons as well that takes this back to who the commissioners are, nominated property, and our historic sites. Then we have our historic registers link, and this we did all of these pages. I know that it may not be noticeable because it's hard to remember what it used to look like, but we did a lot of work on all of these pages. I'll just say that. And so we have here the kind of an overview of what historic registers are, what they do, what types there are. And then we broke it down into the county register and local ordinances. So we included, a small descriptor of what types of protection. So Clark County Heritage Register offers the most protection. City of Vancouver Heritage Overlay Districts has some limited protections. And then we have our Heritage Tree Program. And then you can expand these and it goes into more of an explanation. And then you can actually link to the place where you can list on our register, that page there. And then this also just gives you more information about listing. So each one expands and gives you more detail. We wanted a place also where we could have information about our overlay districts because we didn't have that on our site before. So we created this as well. People can click on this and it'll expand and get bigger. And then that has just a little bit of information. And then it's also linked, I believe, or it's linked up here. So people can click that and that will link to the code where it talks about our overlay districts. And same with this one, they can click on it and they can see the exact streets and information about our overlays.
Impressive.
Thank you. And then we wanted to keep other things that on here, even if we don't manage them, we wanted to keep other things that are preserved. So we have our Heritage Tree Program that links to the city's site, but they can find a tree on the program and that can take them there if they want to nominate something. Then the Washington registers, both the Barn Register and the Heritage Register, and then of course the National Register. So pretty much all registers and any kind of information people would want to seek, they can find here on this page. So I guess I don't have to close all those. And then next we'll have our Certificate of Appropriateness page. And I'm really happy with this section. So we did a whole more of an approachable, like, here's what a design review is. This is what it's meant to do. Here are the types of things that we would want to look at. It links to the code, so they're not getting code language here, but they can find it if they want it. And then it goes into, so this is what the design review is all about, but you have to submit a certificate of appropriateness. Here's what that is. And here are the two types. Here's an administrative type, and this expands to explain what that looks like. And then also, guides them to go to staff if they have questions. And then the type 2, which is what we do, it gives more explanation here about when that's more appropriate than the administrative review. And then it goes into how to apply for one. So there's two types. You can apply for one within the city of Vancouver. And so this expands to give them specifics about that application. And then if it's outside of the city of Vancouver, this is the application. And I didn't mean to click there. And this also gives more detail. Can I click on the application? Will it pull up the new one? No. Okay, that's okay. So we have a new application that is almost ready to be published. It's not quite there, but we're 99.9% ready. So you will see that in the future, but it looks excellent. In the past, we had two different PDFs, two different PDFs and two different Word documents, and there were supplemental like sheets, and we got rid of all of that. We simplified it. It's now one PDF, one Word document, but it's protected, so it acts like a protected document with fields, and it's much more streamlined. We have more plain language, but like robust language to really help people with their applications. And then we also include in there these tips because we really want people to start thinking about preservation in their application and how they're preserving, how what they're doing is preserving. And so this links to the preservation briefs. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Oh, sorry, not ready, but that's okay. You'll see it in a different page. I'll go back here. It's okay. There's lots of different links. So that's just a little test run, but it is live on the page and we will go there in a second. So they can click on the preservation briefs and find what's relevant to the work. They can go to the Secretary of Interior standards from here. And then there are other like links and resources down here. There's an architectural style guide that the DAP has on their website, which is a really great site. So if they want to kind of browse these images, they can find information about their style of their building and that can help them with some of their research. Thank you. And then we have, so there's just different resources that we wanted to make sure that they had available to them. There's a few things that aren't live yet because they're still being worked on or considered if we are going to put them on or not, but overall, majority of it's there. So this is a new certificate of appropriateness page that we're very happy with. Then, oh, and just a note, we then linked the commission meetings, tax incentives, so they can understand, oops, I didn't mean to click that. Okay, good. And then historic partners. Then we have nominate a property. So again, if they're nominating, we have the certificate of appropriateness, the preservation briefs, and the Secretary of Interior standards. And this does a similar thing where it talks about what nomination does, what it is, what kind of incentives. So it links here to the tax use and special tax valuation programs, which are managed not by us, but it takes to the sites that have more information. Then we have the National Register. It takes them right there if they want to get research information there. We have the Washington Heritage Register and then the Barn Register, so they can link directly to those. And then we go into what's how you know if you're the structure, the site, the building that you want to designate. How do we know if it's eligible? So we have, you know, these are the baseline criteria, and then here are once you determine yes, it meets one of the 3 base criteria, then you can see which of these other criteria makes it eligible for nomination. So it's a person that, you know, this architect that was very influential in this region, and you can find that on this list. Then, so once you discern that, then you go into the nomination section, which is how to do it, how to apply. And we have, again, we want it to be really approachable. So we give the information here. We want you to research your property, and we have a section devoted to that. We have documents devoted to the steps you need to take. Then we have this also, we re-updated and revised the nomination form. Again, that's 99.9% ready. We still have to consult with some colleagues before that can be finalized, but it is almost there. And then basically the instructions on how to do it. So you're going to download it, you're going to fill it out, you're going to make sure you include maps and narrative, and, you know, tell us how you reference the briefs and how does that tie into your preservation, you know, the preservation elements of these spaces that you're nominating. And then we explain what the process is for the review. And then, you know, at the end of the review, hopefully they are on the register. We also don't have a plaque program, but we thought it was worth noting for them to know that even if we don't have one, the museum does have a type of plaque program, and they can go to their website to learn more about it. We wanted to link those two logical things. And then we have these different, so these are going to go away, and we'll have the one form. And then we have the steps to listing your property document, how to research it, some of these other things that were from DAP, and we either updated or revised, or just at least did a review to make sure they were still relevant. And if they were, then we may have updated like the first page to explain the document a little better and gave credit to DAP, but made it relevant for our county. And then we can kept the sample nominations, so people have those as reference. And then again, some of these same pieces of information that are helpful. So that's the nomination page. And then the next one, which we're super happy about, are the technical preservation resources. And this really is where this whole project came from, because we wanted people to understand that there are preservation methods, and we would like to hear what those methods are when they apply for a COA. So even though we weren't successful in getting our CLG grant to create design guidelines, we still will be able to use this to direct people to have some professional insight on how to go about preserving. So we have preservation briefs and tech notes, the Secretary of Interior standards. Since we rely on those, we want people to be able to access those at any time. We have our lending library, and then there's a section that that had been developed for sustainability, had lots of really great resources. So I'm going to click on these and let's see how they go. Okay, so here's that preservation tech resources page. Isn't it beautiful? What?
Very much.
So then this explains what preservation briefs are. And then you can, if you're like, oh, I have an exterior that I'm going to be working on, then it has it in alphabetical order. It tells you the number of the brief. It tells you kind of what is included in that particular brief. And then you can find the thing that's relevant to you. So if you're, you have an Adobe building and you want to restore an Adobe building, then you'd click here and it would take you to that specific brief. So we have all these different exterior that are available to us. If it's not here, it's not here, and that's fine. But meaning it hasn't ever been written by the National Park Service. And then there's interiors. I know we don't review interiors, but we still know people would like some resources. So we have interiors, and then we have just things that didn't fall within those. So like tile floors, HVAC systems, things like that, plaster walls and ceilings that we thought would be helpful for people who are looking for resources in our county. And then there are technical notes that the National Park Service developed that we found were really interesting and helpful. So we just linked those as well. So now we have this, technical preservation resource page, which is what this whole thing was meant to do. Then they can click on the Secretary of Interior standards, where this is comprehensive. In the past, we didn't have anything on our website. We referenced it, and that was maybe it. And maybe it was actually buried in code. So now it's front and center, it's transparent. People can find it. We have our lending library. I think you guys have seen this from before, but it's nicely organized so they can find what they want at Fort Vancouver. It expands into a little description about the item that they can find at the Fort Vancouver Library, and then those things that are at the Clark County Historic Museum and how to go about checking them out, collecting them, using them. So that's our lending library. And then I'll just click on the sustainability one just so you can get a sense of what it looks like. And so things like weatherizing historic buildings. What do you do if you want to put solar panels on historic buildings? What if you want to build a green roof on a historic building? So these are just some good resources, both for us, should we ever get an applicant, or just for us as commissioners, and then for people in our community. So that was a new section that we had developed, really the inspiration, like I've mentioned a couple times, for this whole thing. So we hope people find it useful and do use it. Then the next section is incentives. So we have our tax incentives page, and then we have our historical promotions page. But first, the tax incentives, which we also revised the text. So we have our current use tax program and our special valuation. And then we have some of the resources that were already developed previously. And then we have a section for a federal historic tax credit, so people can find that easily. And then we have our historical promotions grant page, and this will be updated each cycle, but we have here basically what it is, what the background is, and then how one is eligible, and then the supporting documents on the sidebar. And that'll be updated once we open it for this coming year. Then I'm going to skip historic sites. I'm going to go back to that one last, but the historic partners, we also list, this is, I think, a really great comprehensive list of the partners in our community. So we have our county preservation organizations, and you can click here and it takes you to, I believe, their sites. Is that right, Susan? So you can actually get to them from here. And then you can also just read a little bit about them. And then we have our historical museum partner, and we have a little bit of information about some of the really special events that they do here that people can just access quickly and see what it's about. So we have them all listed here. Same with Fort Vancouver. We have some expandables for Fort Vancouver, the barracks, and the Air Museum. And then the Plank House and so on.
Unfortunately, it's closed to the public, but
Which one? I'm sorry. The Plank
Plank House,
right. So it just gives a little description of
it's
of
just
it.
sad.
Yeah. And it's really our partners, right? So some of these places may just not be public spaces, but they're people that partner in preservation with us.
Yeah.
And then we have national preservation organizations and we have state preservation organizations. So people can access those as well. So the last page is the page that is still in process. So everything else is, like I said, 99.9% ready. This particular page is not there, but it is in the works. So it still looks like it does now, like it always has, but this is the one that we hope to get some additional support. This county hopes to get a little bit of additional support with may I say it? Is it okay if I say it? With GIS and with potentially an intern who will be doing some of the hands-on work of getting the things that we want to do here are make sure that all of these listings are linking to their nomination forms and that all of the information here is accurate and up to date. We also want a mapping system that's much more robust that identifies trees, barns, buildings, what's on the national, state, and local registers. We want to see the county boundary. We want to see the overlay boundaries. So there's a bunch of changes that we are pitching and want to move forward. So that's the next main huge step. And then once that's complete, we will be thrilled, and now Spokane will take our stuff and showcase it. Because we were taking Spokane's, now they're going to be like, that Clark County, they beat us. So this is the site. And I cannot say enough praises for Susan and for Jan and what amazing partners they were in putting this all together and sticking with it and having these regular meetings. And I mean, we just did it, and we just worked and worked and worked. And Susan's been an absolute amazing heroine for doing all this work that she has done, because she has to do it all. Like, we get to just read and give feedback, but she actually has to do the work. So huge lift on her part. And like I said, we've been together for years and we stayed together. So that's a big kudos to the group. And so I know that she and Jan plan on moving forward with the map section, and we'll welcome another commissioner once the time is ripe for that. So thank you for letting me take the time to do that. We were just very excited. We really wanted to show kind of the overall result of this work. And thank you so much for letting me share that with you.
Very impressive.
Thanks, Andy.
I want to say very impressive.
Thank you.
Yes, very, very impressive. Very, it's been just so much work and dedication from the whole group, and it really shows.
Thanks.
And thank you, Susan, for all the heavy lifting and the background support that you gave our members, because I know it was big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you to everybody who was involved with this. It looks really amazing.
Thank you so much. And this is Susan. I just want to say Julie and Jan did a ton of work too. It was not all heavy lifting by me. They did a ton of work too.
Oh yeah, they did a deep dive and a lot of heavy lifting, but I know what they say, like you were the production, you're the one who made it shine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. She made it look good.
And this is Bart. I've been on the sidelines for this, but it makes our jobs as staff so much easier to have all this stuff at the fingertips, either for our own work or to point people to it. And GIS is they will be able to get the mapping where you envision it, Julie. There are just so many layers of complexity with that. It's almost its own subcommittee project.
Right. Yeah. Don't make me join the subcommittee, Bart. Don't make me do it. Make me sit down with your GIS team, because I'll do it.
One thing at a time, my friend. One thing at a time.
It's been great. No, I understand why that's the last piece, because it's a collaboration, and it takes a lot of people to do that. So
Yeah.
it'll be great when it's done.
And this can be maintained by anybody now with web access in the county. It's not kind of this boutique thing that gets out of date. This can be
Oh, that's good.
this can be scaled and maintained by any admin person with web access in the county.
That's a really great plus, because things die, websites die, and it's a really sad thing.
And staff changes too. So,
Right.
Yeah, so I think the two like final unveilings that will happen in the future are seeing the application and seeing the new application for the COA and the nomination once they're ready to go live, and the map, and then otherwise you have a great system. All right. Next, Bart is going to discuss the status. Oh, I'm sorry. Bart will summarize upcoming budget requests.
And I put my name on it before I knew that was for the last meeting before Susan was back. So
So
throw it back to Susan.
Back to Susan.
Okay. Can you bring up the budget?
Okay, where are we at here? Back. Oh, we're buried in this. Hold on a second. No, it's fine. We are on the same page. We can get to it. We always get to it from here anyway. So there we go.
Okay. So I would like to request a couple things for approval. The first is to update some of our memberships that we have had over the years, and if you would like to continue those. The North Clark Historical Museum, Architectural Heritage Center, Genealogical Society, and Two Rivers are all expired, and we'd like to renew those. And there's a few that are coming up, and we'll ask for those as they come up. And I wanted to see if anyone was interested in attending NAPC, National Alliance for Preservation Commissions, conference. And I'm sorry, Bart, can you also bring up the upcoming conference?
I don't think we linked it. I can get into that little list.
Yeah.
We didn't link it on the page, but I have it here.
Okay, yeah, I
You
have
have
a
it.
copy. And I misspoke. I'm sorry. NAPC is not happening in 2025. It's happening in 2026. There are two conferences that are coming up. The first is Pass Forward, and that's September 16th to 18th, and it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And registration for that, I apologize. I didn't update the list of conferences. Registration for that opens July 1st. And so I wanted to see if there was any interest in going to that. If there is, we don't have to get someone registered on July 1st, but it's open, and getting registered early means that you get the sessions that you're interested in and the tours and things that you're interested in. September 16th to 18th. And it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the last I checked, registration is not open for that one yet, but that is probably going to be opening pretty soon as well. So I just wanted to let you know about those. The request for the updated memberships, the cost of those is $320. The getting members registered, if one or two members was interested, just the early registration is $600 and some odd dollars. And if you approve that tonight, we could at least get folks registered, or you could just approve. I think what we did in the past, rather than outlining every single cost, we just approved one or two members to go to those conferences and then the cost associated with that. So that is what I'm requesting this evening.
So do any of you know offhand, even if you're not able to 100% commit, if you would like to attend any of those? I guess just the two, really. Any or both? Oh, Morgan, I think you're saying something, but you're muted.
Sorry, clarification on the two were the Pass Forward Conference, and the second one was the, National Alliance?
Pass Forward and Places, which used to be revitalized. So the first one's in September, Pass Forward in Milwaukee from September
Okay.
16th to the 18th. Then the second one is Places, formerly Revitalized Washington. That one's in Gig Harbor, October 8th through 10th.
Okay.
And we'll have new members too, so we may want
Right,
to consider them. But we find ourselves in this predicament in June, right? At mid-year, where
Right.
we're like, we have our entire budget to spend, and then we don't end up spending it until October. And then November rolls around and we're like anxious. So
right.
um,
Well, and I'm looking at the budget right now, and, so our budget is $10,000, right?
mhm.
And we're looking at spending, I'm just gonna round it up, $1,800 on, what is that? No, those are memberships. $1,800 on memberships. Oh, it moved. Oh, Bart, you moved my screen.
I blame Susan. She hijacked my computer.
Yeah, I was looking at the budget. I'm just,
I think it says training for commissioners and staff, early registration for 2 members. Is that the 1240?
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
getting a little confused about this
Thanks.
budget.
so after we pay our, memberships that we love to pay every year, out of the $10,000, we have about, roughly $8,000 left,
Mhm.
is what I see.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
To
Agreed.
send people to conferences, to do other outreach items, to do other preservation-minded things. I am always open to going to conferences. I really find value in them. The only thing that I will say is, when I went to I think it was which one did I go to last year?
The one in
That Elaine
DC?
couldn't go to. It was the,
Pass Forward?
it was the
So-
one, yeah, it was the one in,
DC?
DC. No, it wasn't in DC that year. It was in,
New
instead of
Orleans?
DC, it was in New Orleans. And the only thing that I thought, that might be nice at some point was to not be so lonely, like I went to that meeting and I sat in many of these, workshops, where commissioners were sitting side by side with, staff members.
Yeah.
And that was, even the city of Seattle says they send, every year they send a different person. And I'm just thinking that at some point, it would really be nice to align, and I know that everyone's really busy, so it's not always feasible, but it'd be nice to align some of these conferences, especially the national conferences, with some of our staff members so that we could kind of, brainstorm some of the problems and solutions that we see for our own communities.
Yeah, I think that's such a good idea, Morgan, because when I did the NAPC, I was by myself as well. And it was a bit sad to see all of these groups of people together kind of learning and tag teaming about the information. And it was just, me collecting the information. And it would have been great to have had someone else to kind of carry on that knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, and they just
excellent
had,
point.
other city managers or county, staff, like we have staff, like
Yeah.
these weren't, like mayors or something, but it was people who were along the same lines. And I didn't know if our budget allowed for sponsorship of staff to go along with us.
Yeah. Does it? Do you know?
I think staff would be able to attend, but we would have to, it could be covered by this budget. Otherwise, we would have to ask, if those costs could be covered separately. So we
And I
could,
didn't know if there was interest. I mean, I know that both of you are interested, of course, our staff members that are present right now are, especially, I know Bart is passionate about different parts of historic preservation and,
I've gone to conferences like that before, and they're
right.
great.
Yeah.
I think we've just been in this mindset of real, let's just call it fiscal, not conservativeness, but just really watching our budgets recently. And so Susan and I haven't even talked about going
No,
on
no, no.
these
Yeah,
things,
no.
but
That's
it's
why
a
I'm bringing it
conversation to
up.
have. Yeah, we certainly have the right to go, and there's value added. We'll have to look at it and talk offline. Thank you for advocating for that, though. I appreciate
No,
it.
that would be the experience I would really enjoy. I would really enjoy to go to one of these national conferences with a staff member or somebody from the city. Not necessarily we had to go to every conference together, but that, we could share ideas and, really bring this forward to our community and it not be such in a bubble. I learned so much at every single conference I go to, whether it's national or the Places Conference. So I am always game for going with anybody. And the fall is the best time for me. Especially after what does that look like? September 15th. When I get back from Hawaii.
We'll put a pin in that, Morgan.
Yeah, I just really thought about that last time. I had a really great time sitting together with officials from Florida because it's a real deal. They're talking about disaster response and historic preservation. And, it's something that as a commission, we really haven't discussed, but, it's not like we have disasters like tornadoes or hurricanes, but we do have a looming earthquake
And we have fires, lots of them.
and we have fires. So it was just really interesting. It was like, I just really was like, gosh, I wish Bart was here.
Yeah, when Julie pulled up the technical bulletins, the first thing that popped into my mind was the FEMA bulletins for the floodplain work. Very similar
Right.
idea, similar mindset. Yes, let's continue that.
Yeah, let's see. I'm glad I
train of
planted
thought.
that seed.
I think
Yep.
Jason had his hand raised. He may want to comment.
Yes, I'd love to hear from Jason.
Does he still want to say something?
Yeah, I think.
So I would suggest since I'm going to be gone, Morgan has expressed interest, and then you two, I would say at least 3 people, because we have 3 people that aren't here, 4 people that aren't here. I would imagine we get at least one of them.
I'd be interested in the Milwaukee one.
So
Yeah, that would be really great. I would love to go with you, Andy. That'd be
Thank
so
you.
much fun. We could do so much for preservation brainstorming.
okay, so then so maybe it would make sense if you need a real number, to email the group for those people who aren't here.
Did you want to say something, Jason? I see you unmuting.
Yeah,
again.
can you guys hear me? I'm having trouble with my audio.
We got you, Jason.
Yeah, now we can
All
hear
right.
you. We can hear you great.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be interested. The same sentiment as Bart and Susan, like we are in a budget crunch. Like our whole training budget was basically, it went away for 25. But in the event that, let's say you had additional money that you needed to spend from your budget, and it wasn't earmarked for anything for the remainder of this year. I mean, myself or Anthony, I know we're looking to get a couple other planners up to speed on helping Anthony. It would be great if they could tag along. So I will get with them and see if there's any interest. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's awesome, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
You make me feel jealous, you guys.
Come
wanna be with you.
Come
The wheel turns around eventually.
Yeah, right.
Did you need an answer also for the memberships?
I think we should vote on those at least.
Yeah, we need to vote on the membership, I
I
think.
think so too. Do you need a motion or just a vote? Okay, do I have a motion to approve all of the memberships listed on the budget to
I
fund them
will
for this year?
approve, I will make a motion to approve all of the memberships on the budget as shown.
I'll second
second
that.
Okay,
Yay.
Thank you. And do we need to do a
Just-
voice vote?
Just a voice vote. Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. The motion passes. Was there anything else you needed from us today regarding the budget?
So I'll just follow up and email everyone and see who has interest and ask them to respond. And we'll go from there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So next item is regarding Stanger House. I know Elaine was planning on discussing that. Do you want me to,
I
do you
think
want to speak to that point or?
Susan might have a little bit of something to say. That was kind of Elaine's thing to talk about. And so we could defer more detailed discussion till next meeting. What I will say, and Morgan has mentioned this in, I think 2 meetings ago, maybe last meeting, the Stanger House is a wonderful property. Their heart's in the right place. They're working hard. They continue to reach out to us for guidance and help. And so just keep that in mind when we ask for help and they ask for people to get involved. I don't think they're asking for people to approve applications when you walk on the property, even though it might have felt that way to Elaine that day. It's that they just want to know that this group is invested in the progress on the property. And when they do come with applications, that we're supportive.
We just can't guarantee it until we do it.
And that's what we've tried to make clear to them. Yeah. Susan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, we just, after Elaine visited the property, and I think it would be good to have her talk about that. We did get another email from Rob Seaman.
Right.
And he would like other members to come and have a conversation. And so, I guess I'm just, I think Andy and Morgan, you went in
Last July.
2024.
We went in like COVID. I don't know, it's COVID. That's all I remember.
Wasn't it? It was last July, I think, when we, yeah.
Okay.
I don't, it was a long time ago. Mark came, he was on his bicycle. Do you remember?
During COVID,
Greg?
yeah, I was there at that one.
So, I guess I can also email, members about this, but just see if anyone else is interested in that offer. Because he is tying the tours with, he's waiting to come back for their COA review until he has these tours. And I think we maybe need to urge him not to combine those two things.
Especially for the windows, because they have the grant for the windows this year. And so they really, Jason and Anthony, I'll talk offline with you guys, but since it's a city application, we should make it clear to them that they need to come forward for that to move ahead and get their grant reimbursement on the Windows project.
Right, and just be very specific
Yeah, very specific.
and not as broad-based as they like to be, because they have a big grand plan.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. So next on the agenda are the commission announcements and events section. So does anyone have any announcements or
I do.
updates?
Yeah.
Heidi.
So I just wanted to let everyone know I've accepted a position on the Urban Forestry Commission. So tonight's my last meeting with you guys. I just wanted to let everyone know that it's been a real pleasure to serve with you all.
Heidi, we are going to miss you, and they are very lucky.
Yep.
But thank you for being on the commission with us and showing up and being part of this great group of us. So thank you and best wishes to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a real joy.
Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah, thank you for your service and thank you for your
thanks,
continued
Heidi.
service.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other announcements?
I have two. I'm continuing to represent the Historic Preservation Commission with both the Army Corps of Engineers. And I didn't
Right.
see my report in the May minutes. So I'm continuing to work with Catherine Pollock, representatives of many tribal groups, different historic preservation officers in Oregon and Washington on both state and county level. And it's led by a very gifted person named Catherine Pollock. And I think probably the most interesting piece I learned in the last session was that the dredging of the Columbia River is more complicated than anyone would imagine. And one of the focal points is around the Lewis and Clark Bridge in Longview.
Yes.
And they're
Absolutely.
concerned that they want to make sure that the channels are deep enough so they don't have a repeat tragedy like the one that happened in Baltimore, Maryland. And it just made me think that that bridge that we've all seen so many times for so many years bears a striking resemblance to that that motorway that was struck by the runaway tanker ship. So that was interesting. Where we continue to meet on a monthly basis. And I'm also representing the commission on the Fort Vancouver Bicentennial Committee. And the share out from this is that there are literally scores of events that are related to the Fort Vancouver Bicentennial. It isn't as if there's going to be one giant celebration at some point in time, but it's a continuum of events, both medium, small, large, on the part of many interested parties. And I'll continue to keep the commission updated as the summer goes by.
Thank you, Andy. And I will just let the commission know also, if you're not aware, both Andy and I sit on the dredging committee, and what we're doing with what Catherine's doing, which is amazing, is she's working with not only us, but she's working with so many different partners to create a PA, because we need they need a PA to be able to dredge responsibly. And that's what Andy is diligently sitting in on, is the meetings where you listen to all of the different constituents.
And it is
their
fascinating.
concerns. And it's so fascinating because everyone has something different to bring to the table.
But there's a very pleasant camaraderie about the quote unquote interested parties. I've really enjoyed
Right.
hearing them.
And
Yeah.
Andy, this is Bart. You did send me a written document. I didn't realize you wanted it in the record. Next time I will put it in the record. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
What is PA?
Programmatic agreement, the same as they're doing with the interstate bridge.
Right.
It's like the
right.
giant contract that spells out responsibilities between the government and the different parties.
Thanks. Is that, does anyone else have any announcements or updates? Seeing none. Okay. All right. Next, we will move to our subcommittee updates and announcements. Do we have
I think we're
any?
covered based on the previous discussions. Like we said at the last meeting, I'm waiting when Morgan gets back. We need to have an offline meeting about next steps with the county demolition project. So I don't have any report for that right now.
I look forward to that, Bart. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think we already touched on everything else. All right. So before we get to the good of the order, I just want to, today's my last meeting, as you know. And so I just want to extend my personal gratitude and, sorry, that screen went away. It startled me. Just my personal gratitude for having been on this commission and for having been on this commission with such amazing, interesting, smart, professional people. I have learned so much, both from this commission and commissioners that are now gone, that were on the commission from when I began. And I feel like this is a really excellent group of passionate professionals who are trying and working hard to do something really important. And so I just want to say thank you for your partnership and for your friendship on this commission. There are two things I hope that people will consider moving forward for the commission. One of them is to explore making our overlay code stronger, seeing ways that we can find to do that, especially as all of this new development is happening in our community and will continue in the future. We really do need stronger protections for our very small historic sections of our community. We need to keep those preserved. And the second one is to explore perhaps a more creative or alternate method for design review criteria and or the ability to kind of provide guidance to our community on such an important topic. So just put those two challenges forward. Sure. The design review, we had attempted to create some design review. I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong thing. Some design review criteria for our partners, for our community, so that when they do apply, they know what our design criteria is for our different historic areas. We had attempted to do that in our CLG grant, and so maybe finding an alternative way to accomplish that. But I think that those will become very valuable in the future as we see more and more development occur and more historic buildings coming up for the chopping block, or buildings that are going to be side by side with historic buildings, to make sure that the design of those buildings maintain the flavor of our community. So just wanted to say thank you to all of you and know that I will miss you guys, and I'm still going to be active in the community. But just, it's been an honor and a privilege. So thank you. I will now move to the last of our sections, which is the good of the order. And just want to know, are there any comments for the good of the order?
Well, I have a few.
I knew Annie was going first. I'm gonna go last.
Okay. Generally, when we want to recognize the good service of a colleague, we want to leave people with three outstanding attributes or contributions that the outgoing commissioner has made. But without trying very hard, I came up with 6 for Julie. And they are, I admire Julie's perseverance, especially because the preponderance of her term came during COVID, and the time when we all endured 26 consecutive remote meetings. The time when there were some commissioners whom I had never met in person in the course of that time when I was chair, that I've always been sincerely impressed with Julie's thoroughness, as we have had case studies, we have had applications, we have had considerations of every possible design. And she was always very thorough in making sure that there was no stone unturned. And I admire that. Also, in hearings, Julie has a very pleasant way of asking probing questions of the applicants and of staff that ordinarily, under some other circumstances, may not be received quite as pleasantly or as well. And so I thought your questioning procedure demonstrated absolute mastery over every situation. I had the pleasure of serving with Julie on a number of subcommittees, and that she has a very thoughtful and kind approach to getting the work done of items that may not be particularly in our purview, but will clearly enhance the service of the Historic Preservation Commission. I've appreciated Julie's commitment to continuing education by getting not only fellow commissioners, but staff members opportunities to attend in-services to improve our service. Speaking of service, I would also finish by saying that both as a member and as chair of Historic Preservation Commission, Julie has exemplified the idea of servant leadership. And servant leadership is a rare thing in public service because she has shown herself to be a person who is committed to serving the people whom we represent. And that's a remarkable quality, and it shows a humbleness that is truly admirable. So thank you. Oh, my pleasure.
Well, while Julie catches her breath, I will say first, I want to thank Heidi for your term here. And through pregnancy and having a baby and sticking it out, we really appreciate every single thing you offered to this commission. And I wish you the best in your next adventures. And I hope to see you along the trail. And meet the little baby in person, for God's sake. And then secondly, Julie, you're going to be missed. I mean, you're my comrade. You know, like what I don't get, you get. You know, so it's going to be really a new adventure. I'm up for it, but I will miss you. And thank you for everything you've done and everything you brought.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Julie, you've been a really strong leader, and I've been really proud to serve underneath you. You've gone after a lot of things, and I really admire that passion.
Thank you. Thanks, Heidi.
So on behalf of Clark County, I'm pleased to give you a remembrance of service.
Oh, that's so cool. That's beautiful.
Can you show us?
Yes.
It's-
Lovely.
It's a plaque or a certificate with the county council's signatures on it.
Yeah. Done a great job.
Thanks, Julie.
Hey, Julie, this is Jason. I just also wanted to echo what Andy and everyone else said. I appreciate your leadership. You always had thoughtful questions, and you got us organized when we needed to be. So thank you, and good luck on the next endeavor.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Right. Well, thanks, y'all. Oh, all right. Well, with that, if there are no other comments, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Do
I will
have a s-
second that motion.
All right. Thank you. And that is the end of our meeting. Thank you all for being
everyone.
here.
Aye.
Can't wait to see you in person. Bye, guys.
Sorry.
You too, Morgan. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Good night.